eyes for too long. Makes me dizzy. Scene switched to Alveus PC. Hype Train! Level 4, chatters. New studio Animal Quest time. Let's go. Hi! Hello! I'm actually getting traumatized by yesterday. I don't know if you guys saw, we had an interviewer come out yesterday, and we were in, I didn't tell you this space. We were in here, and she was like, can you do like an intro like you're just starting a stream? And I was like, I don't know if you want me to do that, because if I'm being honest, I'd just be like, hey, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Zeishi, thank you so much. Like I was like, honestly, when I start streams, it's very informal. Like I just say, hey, what's up guys? How's it going? But then I was like, but if I was doing something more, you know, I would say, and then I did the worst, like cringiest intro I've ever, oh my God, I actually can't think about it. I was just like, hey guys, welcome to another stream. We're back in the studio. We're doing a very special program today. It was like not what I do at all. I hope they don't use it. Bardic1, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Thank you so much. I was just put on the spot and I didn't know what to do. Bardic, thank you so much. Hype Train level 7, that was fast. Maya pretending to be a streamer, right. Hey, welcome to the stream, guys. What's up? I'm sure it was way better than you think. Sometimes, you ever like get interviewed? Or you ever get interviewed and then just like black out? Like you have no idea what you said. That's what happened all day yesterday. But I'm sure it was fine, because I say that stuff all the time. Brockman, thank you for the 22 months. No. Will you ever invite Super TF back to Alveus? No, that guy's weird as hell. No, yeah, sure. I don't know. He can come back. He probably won't, though. Maya relatability tanking. Okay, what about this? What about this? I'm sick. Eli, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Thank you so much. Boys! Imagine I did that yesterday. On the news. The plan is simple. Eli, thank you so much. Yeah, that's relatable, right? I am sick. I woke up this morning, a little bit of a scratchy throat, and I just feel like I'm slowly being run over by a truck. Like, I feel a lot of like mental fog. Like I went into the nut house today to say hi to Lindsay and Amanda, and they were like, how was yesterday? And I was like, what about it? What happened yesterday? And they're like, the news. And I was like, oh. So anyway, I have some mental fog, so we'll see how today goes. These Animal Quests get archived. I'm going to tell you, whoever's doing that, I don't know, Space, is that you? You should cut all this out. We're just going to do a little bit of an intro here. And we'll cut all this out, and then I'll do like a fake intro to start it, and that's what can go on the website. I'm going to have a little seat here. Wait, actually, this is nice. You don't need to see the presentation. Why call it the Nut House? Because it is the nutrition house, and we say Nut House for short. That is something that I picked up from the zoo that I worked at in college, and it very well may have started as a joke at that facility. But now, like, there's no going back. We could not change it and call it something else. But unironically, they were like, that's what it's called at the zoo, and then that's just what I call like prep houses, nutrition houses all the time. I used to think actually that it was because we kept all the nuts in there, because we did, but then years into working at that zoo, I learned that it was because it was a shortened nutrition house. So, yeah. I thought that too at first. Yeah, that's super fair. They call them nut houses at my zoo too. Okay, huge. Huge. How was your trip for the new Alveus YouTube series? A soft leak. Bardic, thank you for gifting 3 months. That's so nice. Thank you very much. Jaded. Big time today. Very orange in here today. Maybe a little. I like it. Oh. Okay. Bad news for me. I can't take this sweatshirt off today because this part's getting cut out. Because it's my isopod shirt, and this can't be in the. Where's the freaking? It can't be in it. So I need to not get hot today. Pray for me. It's an isopod shirt. It says F it, we ball. What were we talking about? Oh, soft leak. So, Flumgoon, thank you for the sub. Thank you for the 39 months. A snow pig, reptile, thank you so much. Tomo, thank you for gifting a sub. Dr. Nick, thank you for gifting a sub. It's 90s today, isn't it? Yes. I actually brought a fit to do Animal Quest in, and then I felt tired and sick, and I just didn't put it on. I could still do that. Okay. What were we talking about? Okay, a leak. So, how was filming? Thank you for the bits. Stream ADHD is gonna be really bad for this brain fog today. PP Hands, thank you for the prime. So the leak. Chaotic Duck, thank you for gifting a sub. Okay. So, somebody asked, how was the trip to film the first episode of the new Alveus YouTube series? That is the leak, is that there's a new Alveus YouTube series. It went very, very well. I'm excited about it. So here's the plan. Everybody get your business suits on. Here's the strat, okay? We want to grow the Alveus YouTube channel, right? So we're bringing Alveus staff out to other facilities, conservation facilities, and we make a video there, and staff comes and they get to tour the facility and they get a bunch of continued education, which is awesome, and they get to come on a cool trip, which is awesome, and they film, so they're in this video. I vlog the trip. Tig, thank you so much. I vlogged Cyan, thank you so much. I vlogged the behind the scenes of the trip to film that video, and then we release them in tandem, and then on my YouTube channel, I go, if you want to see this whole video, go check it out on the Alveus channel. It's live right now. Santosh, thank you. Goddess, thank you so much. And then everyone goes to the Alveus channel, and the funnels. So it's like Conservation Uncharted, except it's a YouTube video on the Alveus Sanctuary channel. Razorflies, thank you. Angie Springroll, thank you. We are filming 5 months in a row, traveling to film all these. The Alveus staff has signed up for the trips that they want to go on, and the funnel is funneling. And everybody's signed up for their trips, and we are doing the thing. It's awesome. They're going to be really good. So we're filming for the next 5 months in a row for that YouTube series, and I'm excited. I think it'll be really good. Nubbles, thank you so much for the 6 months. All NA. Yeah, no, we're not leaving the country. Milk the Main 2.0. Actually true. Peckies, what's good? I have really bad news. I'm sweating and I haven't started. Maybe, oh, nice, right. Yeah, let's do that. Is there another cam Maya's looking at, or is that where the chat screen is? Oh, chat's over there. Does it bother you that I'm looking that way? Will the videos be uploaded once a month or in a row at the end? So we want to release them once a week for 5 weeks, I think is what's going to be best for the series. So we got to save them up. You know, I think that'll be cool. And then we'll have 5 weeks of like exciting, like it's Friday or whatever day we choose. And then there'll be a new episode. So that is the plan. Hype Train 100. Moodang Fever, thank you for the 20 gifted subs. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Where are you going? I'm not gonna tell you. Connor, thank you for the 48 months. You should not be subbed to me, dude. I'm gonna be honest with you. I give you permission to cancel your sub. Jesus Murphy, thank you for the 10 months. It's very nice of you to do that, but you really don't have to do that. Okay. So where are we going? I don't want to tell you, but I will tell you that you've seen, I have worked with some of the organizations before, so you guys already know and love them. And they're all about different animals. And there's like a pretty wide range of species that we're covering in this series, as I'm super excited about it. There's a few that you guys have never, like a few species that I've never done on my channel in person anyway. Gremlin, thank you for the prime. Goddess. Funny you should say that. Not leaking anything, I'm just saying it's funny that you should bring that up. Do you have a manatee? No. I have a feeling I know where the first one is based off the alt tweet. Yeah, there are little leaks everywhere. People are keeping an eye out. They know what's going on. Special guest vloggers for double the funneling? Yeah. No. It's just me and Alveus staff vlogging. Tex, thank you for the 13 months. Lupin, thank you for the tier 1 for 14 months. Yeah, so that's the new Alveus video series. It's been a while since I've been live because I've been traveling. My sister also graduated, so I was traveling for that as well. Brandalorian, thank you for the prime. And what else is new? Freaking there's so much in the works that like we can't tell you yet. There's a cool stream coming up on the Alveus channel today. Connor and Kayla are in Alaska, as some of you know, because they've streamed from Alaska on the Alveus channel. They saw a moose the other day. They saw a bald eagle. They streamed all of it. So if you want to go to Alaska virtually, make sure you check out the Alveus channel. And today, I believe they're seeing a bunch of animals in Alaska at a very cool place after this stream. So if you have not succumbed to the funnel, today is the freaking day. Can2, thank you for the tier 1. Hank Green to Alveus 1. So I don't know if you guys saw that news on socials. We were chosen to be a grant recipient of Project for Awesome, which is a fund that was started by Hank Green and John Green. We had a group of high schoolers actually reach out to me via email. Cloud Cardigan, thank you very much. A group of high schoolers reached out to me via email, and they were like, hey, we have to do a video for our English project for school, and we like Alveus. Could we do the video on Alveus? Could we interview you to make the video? Me, like, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't expect anything to come out of it, if I'm being so honest. I was just like, oh, high schoolers, that's nice, school project. Yeah, like we can do that. So they sent me some interview questions, whatever. I sent them my answers, and they made this video that actually is phenomenal. Like, it's a really good video, and again, much better than I expected it to turn out. And they submitted it to Project for Awesome to nominate Alveus for the grant. And we were chosen as a grant recipient. So pretty sweet. Yeah, it was a really good video, and they did an awesome job. So shout out to all of them. I did send them an email after we found out, and I was like, guys, you're not gonna believe this. Is the video available to the public? Yeah, it is. I saw someone linking it in chat earlier. They just did a really good job. So that was really, really nice. And what else? Akela and Awa. Chef's kiss. I know that's what we're here today for. But watching them on the cams has been excellent. Like, their transition could not have gone any better, I think. I think we're all just thrilled on how they're doing together. So really excited to see them together. Georgie's loving his new enclosure. He went in the water once. It was not on stream. So, sorry. Guys, you missed it. But he did go in and out of the water one time. Chandler has had lots of babies. Who's Chandler, you may be asking? Georgie's Endlerfish neighbors. Chandler, collectively. They've had lots of babies. So, there's lots of baby Chandlers in Georgie's enclosure now. Huge. I thought he was your assistant. Yeah, that's Chandler. Roomies. And tomorrow I'm doing a React stream with Zoil. For some reason, from his setup. I missed my stream Monday. I wanted to stream twice this week, so tomorrow at 12, I will be at Zoil's house, and he's going to teach me about brain rot. So, I have that to look forward to. What else do we have going on? We had a collab scheduled for this month. This is also why I don't tell you about collabs, though, because it was canceled. So we probably don't have a May collab, but we do have one scheduled for June. Lulu May, thank you for the 27 months. Thank you so much. Happens. Yeah, the chicken enclosure is up and running. It's beautiful. Jack the Russell, thank you for the tier 1. Saltwater tank progress. There's no water in it, but I think that Lindsay has finished out like setting up all the coral structure, which is really exciting. Would you want one, or is it good to have some break? I've texted several people about collabs, but it's hard to schedule with people. Germa collab, right? Yeah. Julia collab. Actually, this is good for you guys because I know we have some overlap. I don't think I can message Julia because I don't think she follows me. I talked to her in person about it and she wants to do it, but I don't have the ability to message her. But she could come out. She just gotta follow me back. Smile. Quarter Jade is the dream. Yes, we have talked to Sketch as well. I have her on Discord. You know what's funny, Spat? You know what? Actually, I'm not going to tell you that. I'm not going to tell you. Prezzo at Alveus when? Yeah, soon. For sure. For sure. The self-control. No, Spence messaged me and like essentially pitched Julia as a collab. And then I saw her in person and I was like, hey, you want to collab? Spence told me you wanted to. And she's like, oh, Spence. But I fear that that's too much for you. So forget that you heard me say that. She would have come out eventually. Maya Queso went. Queso was in my dream last night. Wait, he left me a hate comment on something. What was it? I think I posted an Instagram reel, and then Queso commented on the reel, and he left like a hate comment, and I was like, there's no way, but it's verified, and I clicked it, and I went to it, and it was Queso's profile, and I was like, oh my god, why would he do that? I don't remember what he said, but he left me a hate comment in my dream. I don't think he knows who I am, though. You're literally my favorite YouTuber. Thank you! That's nice! I just filmed a vlog for my YouTube channel. Part of it was going to the Philadelphia Zoo. That zoo kicks ass, by the way. I've been to a lot of AZA zoos in the US, and I would bravely say that that's my number 2. It goes San Diego and then Philly for me. It's a great zoo. So you can see why on my vlog, my next vlog. Man, my throat hurts. Okay. Guys, incoming, throughout the course of this stream, I just slowly degrade. And by the end of the stream, I die. Sketch mentioned you in passing on a collab stream with Queso and Jinxie one time talking about Austin streamers. Wow, cinema. Case and Jinxie know who I am. They remember that for sure. Shout out Sketch for that. Thank you so much. Thank you for the fame. Guys, that's the guy who directed the Marvel movies. Okay, it's time. Wow. Ow. Okay, we're gonna... Wait, reset? What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Hello. Okay. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Animal Quest. It has been a minute. And we've never done Animal Quest in this studio. Wow. You have seen this template before. Don't worry about that. But you've never seen it in this studio. We're going to see how this works. We're going to try to use this board and keep it like this. And I don't know, if you can't see it or something, then we can switch it so this is on your screen. But we're going to try it like this and see how it goes. We're experimenting. Animal Quest today is on our Wolfdogs. Last one was August of 2024. Yeah, that tracks. Granted, I think this is the only one I'm behind, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're caught up now.
Once we do this, we're caught up on Animal Quest. Wolfdogs. Wolfdog Animal Quest. What is Animal Quest? Anybody not know? Anybody new to Animal Quest? Anybody? Anybody? Me smile. Me. I'm new. You're lying. Me. Okay, all of you are lying. Thank you very much. Great. Thank you for being honest, as per usual. First time live. I believe you for some reason. Jane, welcome to the channel. Okay, so Animal Quest. This is my first Animal Quest. Simple Ricky, I believe you too. Who else do I believe? Hi, I'm old. Zoink Jones, I believe you as well. All right, so Animal Quest is a series where I highlight the species that we have at Alveus. So this is episode what, 24? This is episode 24. This is the 24th episode. We have gone over emus. We have gone over snakes. We have gone over frogs. We have gone over foxes. We have gone over chickens. We have gone over parrots. A few times, actually, for parrots. So it's just like a highlight series where I teach you more in depth about the animals that we have here. Thoughts? Are you ready for the Wolfdog Animal Quest? Donks. Yes. Yes. Okay. Here we go. First of all, you know what? This one we can put on their screen, right? Probably. Before we start the Animal Quest and before I tell you all about their species, we have to get to know the ambassadors we have here, who are Awa and Akela. Who are they? Who made this, Shrez? Awa and Timber, we rescued from a roadside zoo that has had a number of USDA violations over the past decade. That zoo just did not have the resources that they needed to care for the animals that they had. And so Awa and Timber were transferred here to Alveus. We lost Timber to bloat unexpectedly as well. And so Awa has been alone since then. We did a long journey to pick up a new Wolfdog ambassador, and his name is Akela. Akela was privately owned, so originally he was purchased in 2018 to be used for breeding wolf dogs. In the past 2 years, he's lived completely alone, so they were able to connect us with Akela. The whole concept of wolf dogs and wolf dog breeding is really sad. We've spent hundreds of years domesticating dogs to be the perfect companion, and for whatever reason, people think it's really cool to put a wolf back into our domestic dogs because they want to say that they have a pet wolf. The problem with that is that you are breeding an animal that can't be released into the wild, and they don't work out as pets inside people's homes because they're part wolf. Cinema. Pretty nice, pretty nice. Why are you standing? What do you mean? Pretty nice. All right, that's who Awa and Akela are. If you're still like, I don't know, I don't feel like I know who they are. I will take you to them. I will take you to them. Before I take you to them, let me explain something. Yesterday, when I got back from travel, I did my hi rounds. So I went around to all the enclosures and I was like, hey, what's up? Because I missed the animals, right? I went to see Awa and Akela yesterday morning, and I walked in there alone, and they were like hyped. They were excited. They acted excited that I was there. And Akela was like running up to the fence, and I was like, they want to run right now. Like, they want me to run. But I didn't know if I was allowed to run because we haven't done that really with Akela yet. And so I didn't run. I wanted to ask animal care if that was cool with them. And then I asked animal care and they're like, yeah. So my dream today is that I go up there and they're excited and we run. But if they've already been fed, there's a chance they don't care at all. So we're going to go up and see. But it's just me. It's just going to be me, and I'm going to go with the phone and try to recreate what happened. Aren't you already sweating? Yes. Thank you. Should I take this off? Prep for Code Veronica. Are they still intact? No. They are not. All right. I also need to grab my keys. Okay, are we ready? I'm ready.
Okay.
To swap-a-roo.
Swapping.
Swap-a-roo.
Swapping.
Swapping? Swapped? Okay. Chat, it's time. I'm gonna grab my keys. Bum, 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 bum. It doesn't feel that hot right now. It feels fine. Seamless transition. Hello. I'm gonna go see if the wolf dogs want to hang out. Everyone say hi to Amanda.
Hi.
All right. It's 86. Yeah, that's chill. That's chill. Okay. Okay, we're walking. Okay, we're walking. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Do, 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 do. Wolf dogs. Have you guys been watching them on the Alveus cams? You know the Alveus cams average like 1,000 viewers now? Isn't that crazy? They're both sleeping. Oh yeah, you guys can have 2 tabs open. You can look at the Alveus cams and see. You can do like a vibe check for me while I'm walking up there, because they'll hear me very soon. I'm gonna do the exact same method that I did yesterday. Hold. Are we back? Hello? 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 Welcome back. Hello, Abbott. Hello. We're so back. Awa has perked up big time. Big time, big time. Look at all the Push Pops flowers. Isn't that nice? She has a garden. Helock, thank you for the prime. So, Awa's still looking. Akela is out. Big time. Okay. No, this feels good. I'm gonna have to pee when I get back. Sorry. Sorry for hydrating so much. Sickness is a mindset that you can avoid by just being brave. Oh wait, no. I'm following the same route. We might F back here, but I'm following the same route that I took yesterday. I don't know, maybe they liked it. Maybe they thought it was fun. P.S. You guys want to leak really quick? Check this out. Do you guys know what this is for? Ooh. 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 It just keeps going. Just keeps going. Oh no. Champ. Champ. Hello. Oh yeah. Coming back. Guys. Akela. Hi. What are you doing? You want to run around a little bit? So you just like this. They both. There's a. Alright. It's time, bitrate. Saved. Not saved. I think you're so behind. Oh, saved. Sorry, guys. Alright, let's see. Look. You wanna run? Whoa! Come. Oh my god, he's so fast. He's so fast. Come on. I'm trying to hold the camera steady, but I can't. Yay! They're running! Come on, Akela! Wow! Good job! Should we do a full sprint? Runners, take your marks. Get set. Go! Wow, it's fast. He's fast. I'm tired. I'm tired. First, Wolfdog running. How was that footage, guys? Did it look good? He's so tall. I know. I really am running so fast. Do we clock which of these is faster? No. I mean, probably Akela because he's taller. Whoa. They're trotting. I'm running. I'm running. I can't go faster than that. Why isn't he tired? Why isn't she tired? What are you eating? What did you find? Is it a stick? Did you just trip? Oh, you put the Alveus cam up? That's nice. Is my footage not good? One more sprint. We're gonna go down here, we're gonna sprint. This is not me sprinting, relax. I'm jogging. Runners, take your marks. Get set. Go. Go, go, go. run. You're making me look so bad. At least Akela, at least Awa's actually running. He's just freaking trotting. That's so mean. That's as fast as I can go. Okay. He's so tall. But he likes it though. That's nice. You happy guy. Are you having fun? Hey, buddy. All right. That's enough, I think, for both of us. Me being like, oh, the wolf dogs are tired. They shouldn't run too much. No, it was actually feeling a little funky the other day. So legitimately, I don't want to like run all day with her. Yeah, the flowers are really pretty in here, huh? Check them out. Got a bunch of these. Some of these. And a bunch of these. Ooh. Doinkin'. Whoops, sorry, lady. Sorry. Very nice. Bye. I'm going in the K900. They're like, she's running again. I'm not. I'm not. Wow. All right. What did you guys think? Don't pass out. I'm not going to pass out. I feel great. I feel great. They are really fast, though. Akela especially is really fast. It's cool to see, though, that he likes that. I don't know if he would be, like, as into it if Awa wasn't running, too. But she's always like that. Now they both like it. That's nice. Let's make it a daily event. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, we should, we should do that. How many times do you think you'd have to run around this enclosure to run a mile? Because you can't run around the whole thing. You could do laps around the whole thing. I don't know, 220 feet by, how many feet are in a mile? Like 5,300 or something. So, I don't know, hurts my brain. I'm done. I'm done thinking about it. All right, we're going back. Yeah, it's like 220 by 50. Mile run, Wolfdog edition. Like 10 laps. That doesn't seem that bad. Well, no, yeah, I would not. Yeah. It's been a long time since I've run a mile. I probably run like a 20-minute mile right now or something. That's okay. That's okay. Do we know if Akela has a higher percentage of wolf in him since he's a bit taller, or is that just him? We know that Akela is 60% gray wolf, but we don't know what percentage Awa is, so you can't say for sure. If I had to guess, I would guess that Akela is a higher content wolf dog than Awa, but I don't know for certain. Okay. Me running while sick in a sweatshirt in 90 degrees. Hi, Kylie. That was fun though. I'm excited that they seem to like that. Akela's so tall and he's so heavy. You can like hear it when he changes directions, the way he hits the ground. He's super heavy. I mean, he's over 100 pounds, so makes sense. Okay. Space, do you want to switch to the studio cam, or maybe just like put the Wolfdog cam up for a second? I'm gonna pee and it's gonna take me less than 2 minutes. For sure. I will see you guys in just a second. Oh my god, I almost died. Hello? I changed. I was sweating too much. Welcome back. Okay, costume change. That went exceptionally well. That jumpsuit is sick. Thank you. I thrifted it and then I ironed on this Alveus patch. Smile. All right. Good stuff, guys. I'm so happy that they like that. Okay, so that's who Awa and Akela are. Now you guys know. Are you ready to learn about Wolfdogs a little bit? Shall we? Shall we? All right. So, natural history. Wolves, not of wolf dogs, maybe natural history of wolves. Wolves are a keystone species. You guys see this screen okay? So a keystone species is a species on which other species in an ecosystem largely depend, such that if we removed the ecosystem, it would change drastically. So, other examples of keystone species: elephant, beaver, so sharks, wolf, yes, starfish even. Crazy pull, bet you didn't know that. Keystone species are very, very important for their natural environments. If we don't have keystone species, we don't have the rest of the ecosystem, and I will explain that a little bit more in detail later, why wolves are a keystone species. What do they eat in the wild? This is part of what makes them a keystone species. Wolves can go days to weeks without food, but when they do successfully hunt large prey, they can consume up to 20 pounds of food in a single meal. They gorge themselves. because meals don't come that often. So when they do eat, they can eat a ton of food. Oh, they can eat a ton of food. So primarily they're eating ungulates, deer, elk, moose, beavers, bison, rabbits, hares, right? It's really important that they eat ungulates, especially. It's not just the amount of deer that they take. So this is important because if they eat herbivores, it helps to maintain vegetation populations because these guys are grazers, right? And you may be thinking, but wait, wolves only eat every once in a while and then they gorge themselves, so they're not eating that many deer. So are they really regulating that population? Number one, yes, they are, but they also keep these populations moving because they know that there are predators. So if there are predators in the wild, ungulates are going to keep moving, which means they're turning over soils, which means they're grazing sustainably on that land, right? Instead of not being scared and staying in one place and eating down all the vegetation to where it doesn't have a chance to recover. So they keep these animals moving, which is really, really important for our ecosystems. Does that make sense? Ungulates. It's the name of like these hoofed animals. Ungulates. So that's why they're important. That's why they're keystone species. Helping to regulate herbivore populations and then helping to maintain vegetation means that animals like rabbits and birds and bugs, they all need vegetation to survive. So we need wolves for all of these animals. That's what makes them a keystone species. Wolf species. Technically, there are 2 species of wolves that are recognized. There is debate over how many wolf species exist. Would recommend researching it if you are in the mood for a headache. There are 5 subspecies of gray wolves in North America, though. So you might be thinking, like, what about Arctic wolves? What about Mexican gray wolves? Subspecies of gray wolves. Okay, but generally you can think of there as being 2. Gray wolves and red wolves. They look pretty different. Fun facts. Let's just get this out of the way because I know people are going to ask. What's an alpha wolf? What's a lone wolf? Right? Like you guys hear those terms a lot. So there are pack leaders called a breeding pair or a dominant pair or an alpha pair. So there is one breeding pair within a pack. Okay? They are the ones that reproduce. Lone wolves are occasionally when wolves will leave their pack to go find another pack because they are not a part of that breeding pair. That is what makes them a lone wolf. They can go like weeks being on their own. That's where the word lone wolf comes from. And any wolf can become a dominant male or female by finding an unoccupied territory or mate or usurping the mate from another dominant wolf. So it's not, if you say alpha wolf, you should probably say like alpha pair, which I recognize is less fun, but it'll be that breeding pair. Okay, not like one dude. So that's their first fun fact. Okay. Second fun fact, this is a poll. What is the average size of a wolf pack? What do you think? You guys can type A, B, C, or D in the chat. That is how you vote. Place your bets. What is the average size of a wolf pack? Is it A, 2 to 4 individuals? Is it B, 5 to 8? Is it C, 10 to 13? Or is it D, 14 to 17? I see a lot of B's. I see a lot of C's. I see some A's. I see very few D's. Yeah, we got 58% saying B, 30% saying C, 8% saying A. Are you ready for the answer? The correct answer is B, 5 to 8. Most of you were right. Good job. Good job. Average size of a wolf pack, about 5 to 8 individuals. Next, this is relevant to right now. What is the average sprinting speed of a wolf? You think they can run 10 to 15 miles an hour? You think they can run 20 to 25 miles an hour? 26 to 34 miles an hour? Or 36 to 38 miles an hour? What do you think? What do you think? I'm seeing a lot of C's. 68% of you think that it's C, 26 to 34 miles an hour. Average sprinting speed of a wolf. 24% saying B. 11% saying D. Only 2% saying A. Only 2% of you think they're slow. Stompy can run 30 miles an hour. I can run 30 miles an hour. It's a joke. I don't know how fast I can run, but it's not that fast. The correct answer is D. 36 to 38 miles an hour. 58 to 61 kilometers per hour. I'm going to be so real with you guys. Before I made this, I probably would have guessed C as well. That is fast. That is so fast. Crazy. Sprinting speed of a wolf. Yeah, they can schmoove, guys. So I don't want to hear it about my performance today. Kind of unfair race. Another quiz. Wolf teeth, just for fun. How many teeth does a wolf have? What do you think? You think they have 32 teeth? You think they have 36 teeth? You think they have 42 teeth? Or 52 teeth? What do we think? How many teeth? Lots of guesses. This one's just for fun. 41% think that it's 42 teeth. 36% think it's 36 teeth. 18% think it's 32 teeth. The correct answer is, drumroll please, 42 teeth. That's a lot of teeth. All right, good job. We learned some fun facts. Next, wolves and humans. So, all the animals that we have at Alveus are ambassadors for different things. Wolves are having a very, very hard time in the wild, and they've been having a very hard time for a long time. Their number one threat in the wild is humans, and that comes in a lot of different forms. So humans have had conflict with wolves for years regarding livestock rearing, danger to pets being a danger to humans, and wolves have had conflict with humans for years regarding trophy hunting, bounty hunting, and habitat loss. They lose a lot of their habitat to development, human development. So ways that humans affect wolves, generally speaking, developing over their habitat, thinking that they're going to kill their livestock or pets, and just having a general dislike of wolves as a species, politics, protections that wolves have federally and within the government, all problems that wolves have had in the past. But yeah, humans are absolutely the biggest risk to wolves right now. Let's look at some statistics, though. There's a couple more polls here. Poll number 1. Across the world, how many people died from wolf attacks between 2002 and 2020? It's a decent period of time. How many people died from wolf attacks between 2002 and 2020? You think it's 26 people, 58 people, 135 people, or 652 people? Just so we have like a grasp on the danger or the threat that wolves pose to people in like a 20-ish year period. Most people saying A, some people saying B. I saw a couple D's. What do we think? What do we think? What do we think? The correct answer is 26 people. Note, 14 of these attacks were due to rabies, which I think is an important thing to add because it's obviously super uncommon and not necessarily reflective of natural wolf behavior. And it's a significant portion of these attacks. So overall, not insignificant. Like this is serious, but it's a very small number for the attitude that people have towards wolves. I think people are very scared of them, and they think they're super dangerous to people and that they're going to hunt us and kill us, and so people want to kill them for that reason. But pretty small. Second statistic. People are very, I'm setting you guys up, but people are very concerned about livestock and wolves. They think that wolves are a big risk to their livestock, that they'll take out their cattle and sheep. In the US, what percentage of cattle and sheep losses are caused by wolf predation? What percentage of cattle and sheep losses are caused by wolf predation? Is it 13% of all cattle and sheep losses? Is it 7%? Is it 3%? Or is it less than 1% of cattle and sheep losses caused by wolves? What do we think? I'm seeing lots of C's. I'm seeing lots of D's. I'm seeing a couple B's. Seeing some A's. 53% of you say it's D. 34% of you say that it's C. This is going to shock you all. Just kidding, it's not. It's less than 1%. Another important thing that I wanted to add on to this poll in particular is domestic dogs kill 100% more cattle and 1,924% more sheep than wolves in the US. Isn't that crazy? 100% more cattle and 1,924% more sheep than wolves in the US. I want you guys, you don't have to remember that number, but I want you guys to keep this stat in mind at the end of this presentation, at the end of this stream, okay? That's crazy. That's crazy. All right. Other problems that wolves face. Let's talk about this really quick. So, wolfdog versus wolfdog hybrid. Let's get this out of the way before I start yapping. Okay. So you guys may have heard us use these terms interchangeably. A lot of people do use them interchangeably. Technically, they're not the same thing. So, wolf-dog hybrid is offspring that's resulted from the mating between a wolf and a domestic dog. Wolf, domestic dog, wolf-dog hybrid. A wolf dog is just a domestic dog with a relatively recent wolf ancestry. For simplicity, we use these terms interchangeably. Okay, these are two different wolf dogs. This is a low content wolf dog. You can kind of see it here. You guys have seen a lot of dogs. You can kind of see it in his face here. And this is a higher content wolf dog or wolf dog hybrid. It's impossible to tell via the picture, right? So let's talk about our wolf dogs. I'm gonna use wolf dogs. That's what we've been using. So I'm gonna use wolf dogs. We don't know if they're hybrids. So why is this a problem? Why are wolf dogs a problem? We have been domesticating dogs for hundreds of years, right? Dogs are extremely phenotypically flexible, meaning they can look like tons of different things, which people love. People want dogs to have spots. They want them to have short snouts. They want them to have floppy ears. They want them to have pointy ears. They want them to have a curly tail. They want them to have a straight tail. They want thousands even. People want dogs to look like lots of different things. And we are able, oh my gosh, my brain fog is so bad right now. We have created this companion for us that fits wonderfully into our lives. Domestic dogs. Man's best friend. Love dogs. Awesome choice. Awesome choice for a pet because they're domesticated and they fit really well in our homes. Then people want more and they say, I want something cooler. I want my dog to be part wolf because that's cool, right? You want to say that my dog is part wolf and you want it to be bigger and you want it to look like a wolf because then you have this wild animal and you whatever the mindset is, that's why people breed wolf dogs as pets. That's a really, really sad existence for wolf dogs for a few reasons. Number one, because it's a wolf dog hybrid, there is dog in it, right? So it cannot be released into the wild. There's domestic dog in it, so you cannot release this animal into the wild. But because there's wolf in it, most of the time, the majority of the time, and it's really hard to find statistics for this, guys. I tried really hard, sorry. Most of the time, they don't work out in people's homes, and they end up having to be at rescues like this or euthanized. These are some examples of wolf dogs in people's homes. These are just pictures I found online. This is a wolf dog chewing on a chair in someone's house. I cannot wrap my brain around why you would want this in your house. This is a wolf dog, very tall, getting up in the dishes. This was an article I found off of a Newsweek article about someone who, this is crazy actually. It was a Newsweek article. Somebody had this wolf dog as a pet and they did a story on like this person's pet wolf dog. And the caption under this video was like the name of the wolf dog relaxes on the couch. Like they went to this person's home and like got pictures, or maybe they sent pictures or something of their wolf dog. And this is this animal relaxing on the couch in their house. Here are some reasons why wolf dogs don't make good pets and why they usually end up in really bad situations. So people often fail to consider space requirements. They need a lot of space. This is not an animal that you can keep in an apartment or a normal-sized house. Our wolf enclosure is 220 by 50 feet. I don't know what the non-US conversion of that is, but it's a big enclosure. You saw me running out there. They have an indoor space that is 30 by 30 feet. It's huge. And we have really tall fencing that has cantilevers. It's angled inwards because they can jump very, very high. So space requirements is something that people don't often think of. Also, if you don't give them enough space, then you can get a lot of destructive behaviors and they can get really cooped up, and generally it's just really bad for their welfare. What if I just have a big garden? Not big enough. Second thing people often fail to consider, integration with children and other pets. If you breed a wolf into a domestic animal, you're going to get a lot of those wild animal tendencies, right? So they'll generally be a little more unpredictable. They might have a greater prey drive. They might be more interested in going after kids or small pets, or other pets in general. It can be really hard to integrate them with a domestic dog, even if it's a large dog. They don't act the same because they're not the same, right? So that can be a big problem, and has been a big problem in people's lives. In the news, there's a lot of news stories about children and people who have gotten wolf dogs as pets and how that has not ended well. Socialization and training, kind of similar to what I was just talking about. Training with a wild animal is extremely different from training with a domestic animal. Take it from somebody who has done both. Training a dog is very complicated. Don't get me wrong. It's a very complicated thing, and all dogs are very different. But the difference between training a dog and training a wild animal is like night and day. They're very different. They act very different. And I don't feel equipped with the years of experience that I have to train a wolf dog or a wolf. Obviously, our animal care staff does a really great job, and they have lots of experience, and they're amazing. But it's hard stuff. Veterinary care is another interesting thing that people don't usually think about. So there are a lot of vets that will not see wolf dogs or wolf dog hybrids because of the liability. So people will get wolf dogs and then they'll bring them in to like get their shots, like rabies and a normal checkup and whatnot, and the vet will not see them. So you have to find an exotic vet that is willing to treat wolf dogs or wolf dog hybrids. We have an exotic vet that's willing to see ours. We could not bring our wolf dogs to a normal vet, like a dog and cat vet, right, in Austin. That wouldn't work. And exotic veterinarians are freaking expensive. They're really expensive. It's not like normal vet care because it's not normal vet care. Destructive tendencies and enrichment needs. Ta-da! They can be very destructive. They need a lot of stimulation. They need to chew things. They're just going to be far more destructive than a destructive dog or a domestic dog, generally speaking. So they can rip up your house. They can rip up your couch. They can rip off your door frames. They can chew through the door. Akela does have destructive tendencies. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. Akela is not an animal that you could give a dog toy to. The only enrichment, really, that Akela can have is stainless steel that he can't eat, or paper that he can swallow because he just will and pass it. But he cannot have like stuffed animals and stuff. He would just eat all of it. We put a crate in that enclosure just for them to get familiar with the crate, and he just goes over to it. There's a clip. He just goes over to the crate and he just eats it. Why? I don't know. He just goes up there and he starts chewing on the corner just like this. He just chews on the corner of the crate. I don't know. Crazy stuff. Okay, I don't know about your guys' dogs, but I put Maverick in that enclosure. He would not chew on that. He wouldn't even think about doing that. They can be very destructive. Legality of ownership. We get asked this question a lot. Is it legal to have a wolf dog as a pet? Sometimes, but that doesn't mean that you should. There are a lot of things that are legal that you shouldn't do. For example, cheating on your wife. It's legal, but that doesn't mean that it's ethical. Sometimes it is legal to own a wolf dog. It depends on the state whether or not it's legal, and in some states it depends on the county. It's very confusing. So it's up to the owner to research that legality and see if they're doing something illegal, and people aren't very good at that. So it really depends on what state you're in and sometimes even what county you're in. Like states will leave it up to the counties to decide whether or not this is legal. There's a lot of gray areas. And there's also a lot of gray areas in vaccinations for wolf dogs. So even like a rabies vaccination gets really sketchy out there because there's a lot of gray area. So not great. And then physical safety, generally speaking, this covers a lot of the things that I've already talked about. Physical safety for yourself. These are big animals. Akela, you guys just saw him running, and I know you can't really hear it on my mic, but yesterday when I went in there and I saw that they wanted to run, the reason that I didn't run is because I was like, wow, you can really hear him, like way more than Awa even, you can really hear him hit the ground. I was like, that's a big animal. And I know you couldn't hear it on the mic when I was running out there, but that is a whole wolf dog, man. It is not like a normal dog. And so, yeah, there's way more physical safety risks in bringing an animal like that into your home for yourself, for the structure of your home, for your kids, for your pets. So we shouldn't have wolf dogs in high-rise apartments? Correct. Yeah. And the really sad thing is that there's so many, right? It's one of those things that becomes like a fad and people think that it's cool and people think that they can have wolf dogs and then people get into it and they breed them because there's money there, because there's demand and people are interested in it. But then no one can have them as pets. And so there are so many that need placing. I don't know if you guys noticed how fast we were able to move on bringing Akela here. We worked with a wolf dog rescue coordinator, and one of the last conversations we had was like, if you guys ever want to bring in more, because there's so many across the nation that need homes. So yeah, it's very sad. So that's another problem that wolves face. Exploitation in the pet trade. Let's talk a little bit about conservation. I saw a couple of you talk about, or maybe just one of you talk about how wolves change rivers. Have you guys seen that video? How wolves change rivers. It has like 45 million views on YouTube. It's a very popular one. I've actually played it before on my stream. No? Well, this is not that video, but it's similar, and it has David Attenborough in it. So I thought it would be cool to play this. We'll put this full screen for him. This is how wolves restored Yellowstone National Park. I've already talked about why they're a keystone species. Let's learn more about what makes them that way.
A less wild world is a less stable. It was time to bring back the wolves.
Yeah!
berry bushes grew back, which helped the bears.
Another keystone species.
It's now been 25 years.
Good video. Good video. So if you guys didn't know what I was talking, it was actually less of you than I expected. I don't know why I expected you all to have seen that video. Sorry. The video that I was talking about before I played that is, I think it's called How Wolves Change Rivers or something. And that did really well because it's a crazy concept. Like, what do you mean wolves change rivers? They touched on it in that video, but essentially what they're saying is by wolves hunting ungulates like deer and keeping deer moving, deer are grazing different parts of the landscape and they're moving along it, which gives those landscapes more time to regenerate plants. And so saplings and trees and other plants will grow in those areas, and that helps put roots in the soil, which prevents erosion in that soil, and riverbanks don't fall in as much. So it makes for narrower rivers, and it can change the landscape of rivers. Does that make sense? Isn't that a crazy concept? And I like this video a lot because they touched on how many species it affects. When you change the landscapes of rivers, you can bring beaver in. When you leave carcasses of ungulates, you bring in vultures, birds of prey, scavengers, ravens, stuff like that. You are keeping deer moving and you're helping vegetation to grow, and that brings in bugs, which brings in birds, which brings in mammals, rabbits, other ungulates, etc. It just makes for a thriving ecosystem. So that is why wolves are important. Yeah, coyotes as well, scavengers, bugs and birds. It's the basis of everything. So that is the big example of Yellowstone, of a conservation success where we reintroduced a species to an area and it made a huge difference for that area. Really, really grateful that that story exists out there. We can help people understand why wolves are so important. But there's an excellent example, and that's why we need wolves. And more than just that environment. Okay, so how are wolves doing? Let me start by saying it was really hard to find a global estimate for wolves, like really hard. The best I could find was like 200 to 250,000 wolves left across the world. I know that number doesn't really help you that much. Here's something that might put it more in perspective. As of 2020, gray wolves occupied about 10% of their former native range in the US. 10% of their former native range in 2020. So their populations have decreased tremendously. I told you earlier, there's gray wolves and there's red wolves. Red wolves, there are 16. 16. This map is a little bit outdated. There are 16 individuals, and they're all in North Carolina. 16 red wolves. Mexican gray wolves, again, for example, went from Mexico up into here, up into Utah, Texas, all New Mexico, Arizona, all this area. Now they are just in a little strip in New Mexico and Arizona. Okay? Their populations have decreased tremendously. Yeah, red wolves are one of the most endangered animals in the US. It is crazy. Why are they at risk? I've already gone over these things. Hunting, habitat loss, lack of government policy and protections is a really, really, really big one. I track a red wolf. I love getting updates on her and learning more info about red wolves. Yeah, they're very, very cool. Red wolves are very cool. They're doing a lot of really important research on them right now. And they're doing breeding programs. So this is a picture of a red wolf. They look a little different from our wolves. They look different from gray wolves, right? He's got a tracking collar on. There are breeding and recovery programs for red wolves across the U.S. Wolf Conservation Center in New York is one of them. You guys can check them out. They're wonderful. Was just there. So they do breeding of red wolves in captivity, and then they're able to release them into the wild. They're able to release them as adults in the wild with collars on so they can track them and they know where they are. Mexican gray wolves, the federal government only allows releases of pups, but not adults. Why? There's not really a good answer to that question. There's not really a good reason. The reason is people are more accepting of releasing puppies than releasing adult wolves. Eat your rice. Thank you very much for the prime. So the captive breeding program for Mexican gray wolves looks like they pair two up in captivity, and then they take pups and they have to foster those pups into a wild den. So they have to know where a Mexican gray wolf wild den is, where a mom wolf is who has pups in a den, and then they have to take the pups that were bred in captivity, they have to transport them before their eyes open, they have to put them in a wild den, and then that wild wolf has to foster those pups. You can microchip those babies, but you can't put a collar on them because they're obviously way too small. So they don't know how well that program goes. Because you have to then capture the Mexican gray wolf, scan it for a chip to find out if that was an individual that you released into the wild. They have found one, though. And the hope is that the rest have just evaded capture. But obviously, it would be awesome and so much easier if you could release adult Mexican gray wolves. But that is not allowed as of right now. So, turns out, government policy and federal protections matter a lot for wolf populations. What can we do to support the conservation of wolves? Number one, spread awareness for wolves. You can educate your friends, you can help change perceptions, and you can not support wolves and wolf dogs as pets. Tell your friends that wolves are cool, right? If people are like, oh, wolves are killing all the cattle, you can say, actually, no. And you can tell people about how fast they are. You can tell people about Awa and Akela and how freaking cute they are. That's all very, very important. And then if you see wolves as pets or wolf dogs as pets online, if you see the illegal sale of wildlife, you can do command report. World Wildlife Fund has a coalition to end online wildlife trafficking. And you can report the sale of wildlife and wildlife parts to World Wildlife Fund. So you can do that online if you see that happening. And then also just like not engaging with content of people like, taking my wolf dog to get a pup cup. Like, you know, support wolf conservation in lots of ways. In education, here I am. Here we are in breeding and recovery. Check out places like Wolf Conservation Center. Pretty sweet. Research. There are lots of zoos that are doing breeding and recovery specifically of red wolves right now. And in research, Wolf Conservation Center also does research. There are lots of places that do research on wolves. We need that to figure out how to keep that species alive. And then, lastly, maybe most importantly, right now, advocate for wolves. Let me tell you about something that's going on. Currently, there is a bill. Now! There is a bill that is going to our House in the U.S. The Pet and Livestock Protection Act. This legislation would direct the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service to remove endangered species protections for the lower 48 gray wolves. Fewer than 1,000 gray wolves existed in the lower 48 by 1967, and they were listed as endangered in 1974. Gray wolves are massively important to our ecosystems, as we've all just learned. Removing endangered species protections for lower 48 wolves, gray wolves, as a single segment would set back recovery efforts where appropriate available habitat exists in and around national parks. Since the National Park Service successfully reintroduced wolves to Yellowstone in 1995, research has shown that wolves have had a positive impact on the park's plants and wildlife. We also learned about that today. Federal and state agency wildlife professionals, land-grant university researchers, and tribal governments have come together to manage the opportunities and challenges of restoration. H.R. 845 would cut short an ongoing wildlife recovery success story and undercut the core principles of the ESA, or the Endangered Species Act. This is happening right now. Wolves have really been ping-ponged throughout the government, guys. Doing this research again, would recommend if you want a headache. Finding out whether wolves are protected as endangered species or not protected is like, they have really, really gone through the ringer. People have really had to fight for them and advocate them politically. And right now is one of those times that we really need to be advocating for them politically. Wolves need endangered species protections. There's already things, like I just told you about the releases of only pups and not adults. Like, there's already things that need to be fixed, but them reducing the protections under the Endangered Species Act is going to be detrimental to these programs, these breeding and recovery programs that have brought wolf numbers back to where they are today, which is already only 10% of their native range in the US. Very, very, very important that they maintain the protections that they have. So we have a command CTA that is through the Wolf Conservation Center, where you can send an email to your representative. We're doing a lot of that this year. Time to spam it. Command CTA. Excellent. Call to action. It is called the Pet and Livestock Protection Act. Remember when I did that poll and I was like, dogs kill 100% more cattle and over 1,000% more sheep than wolves in the US? But this is the Pet and Livestock Protection Act. Okay. You guys catching my drift? Crazy stuff. Sent. Nice. Nice. Thank you. Appreciate it. So yeah, there's a pre-written letter. It's very quick to do that, and it's very important. Public pressure is the most we can do right now. So there's that's happening right now. It is like moving through our house right now. So great time to get involved with that. It's a great time to be doing this animal quest and talking about it. And okay, dogs. Yeah, I mean, that's public info. And also the Endangered Species Act in general. I've done a couple Instagram reels and like Twitter videos about the Endangered Species Act. They are making amendments to the they're trying to make amendments to the Endangered Species Act right now, changing definitions to make it a lot looser so that people are able to utilize habitat that endangered species count on. So those are all in I think they're still in my bio. Or if we could get a link in here for those, that would be awesome. The amendment to change from harm to take. Or that's something that's on my Instagram, video on my Instagram. They're also talking about selling off federal land, more habitat that wildlife counts on, and endangered wildlife counts on. So we got to keep our head on a swivel. And here's the deal. I'm not asking you to keep your head on a swivel 24/7, okay? It's hard enough for me to do that. Just keep an eye out on my streams and on the Alveus streams And if there's something that you guys can do, we will do our absolute best to tell you about it and give you the opportunity. Whether that's through Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, just like keep an eye out for it. Simply Swiveling, thank you. We will do our best to keep you informed because it is hard. It's hard to understand what's going on. Trust, it took me a long time to figure out what this bill was for and what stage it was at and whether we could even send a letter right now. Or if they'd already decided. It's a lot. It's a lot. So appreciate you guys keeping up with me and Alveus for that reason. That is the end of Animal Quest Wolfdog Edition. What did you think? Smile. Huh? Yes. I can just read questions from the chat. Can you put the, is it possible to put the cam back here? Of the wolves? That'd be cool. We're going to do an AMA, but instead of doing the Ask Bot, I'm just going to read them from chat because I think I'm capable of that. So you guys have any questions about wolves or wolf dogs? This was my first and I loved it. Yay, welcome. What questions you got? We got a Flying Pig said thoughts on direwolves. Here we go. Okay. So for those of you who don't know or didn't see the World's, we did a World's Wildest episode where we talked about it in detail. So if you want to hear more of my thoughts, you should go check out that episode of World's Wildest. But so Colossal Biosciences is a biotech company that has been making big headlines recently for quote unquote bringing back the direwolf. They did a lot of PR where they said that it was the first time a direwolf has howled in 10,000 years. For those of you who don't know what a direwolf is, yes, it is. It was featured in what was it, Game of Thrones, I think, or something. It was an actual canid that existed 10,000 years ago, and it's been featured in popular media because it has a cool name and it looks cool. So, Colossal Biosciences said that they brought back the direwolf by looking or taking ancient DNA. Ooh, hummingbird. He left. By taking ancient DNA of direwolves and like creating one out of ancient DNA, like Jurassic Park, right? And people were like, no way. That's awesome. We can bring back species from extinction. My opinion on the whole thing is that, and this is pretty like well accepted, I think, at this point in the science community, they're not actually direwolves. What they did is they took, they did look at ancient DNA, 10,000-year-old DNA of direwolves in like teeth and skull samples, I think, in fossils. And they looked at what made them look like direwolves. So they looked at the DNA and they were like, what makes it look like a direwolf? What gene codes for them being white? What gene codes for them having this type of snout? What gene codes for them having their eyes that look, what makes them look like a direwolf? And then they took a gray wolf and they copy pasted those genes. So they made a gray wolf look like a direwolf, but it is not the same thing as bringing back a direwolf. It is a gray wolf that looks like a direwolf. There are scientific implications, or there's the research that they've done and the breakthroughs that they've made are very exciting and could be really cool and could be really, really, really important for saving species and eventually maybe even bringing back species. Colossal Biosciences has done work with red wolves. The wolves that I told you, there's 16 left in the wild. They're doing some really important work and research on how it's possible to bring those wolves back. They have cloned red wolves, which is very important because there's 16 left in the wild. They're experiencing a pretty serious genetic bottleneck, which means there's a lot of inbreeding that's happening. There's not a lot of individuals and not a lot of genes there. When you clone something, you get 100% of that DNA instead of not cloning something and having that DNA split 50-50. We don't really need to go into all of that. But it's really exciting what they're maybe going to be able to do for red wolves and what they could do for endangered species in the future as well. But overall, they did not bring back the direwolf. And I do worry about headlines like that for science. I think it hurts people's trust in science. And I think that the worst case is that, well, there are a couple worst cases. One of the worst cases is that people, both the public and people in government, and this has happened in government, are saying, well, we can just bring species back, so it's not a big deal. Like, conservation doesn't matter because we can just bring them back now. That is the worst case. The other worst case is that Colossal Biosciences is a for-profit company. They have big-time investors like Tiger Woods and Paris Hilton and Tom Brady, and they need to make a lot of money because they have investors. And sensationalizing science can be really dangerous, and can lead us to doing things that are maybe for not the right reasons. So it's a very nuanced topic. Was that a decent enough answer to your question? For what it's worth, those direwolves are living at a facility that is private. There are not people that are paying to visit it or to visit them. They obviously have made a ton of money off of these headlines, but that facility is not open to the public, and those wolves will live their entire lives in captivity. They're not planning on releasing direwolves. There's no habitat for them to be released into. Brings up a totally different ethical problem of why bring these species back to live their whole lives in captivity. That's a separate conversation. But yeah, that's my take. Good enough? Makes sense? Tissue Cat said, how do you stay positive and hopeful about the future of conservation? I'm very pessimistic at the moment. Great question. I think that the Yellowstone story is really exciting and really cool to see. That's something that humans did to resolve an issue that humans caused, and it made a huge difference. And that was in one place. So it's super exciting that we have the power to do stuff like that. The other thing, and this was advice that I got from a scientist from the Natural Resources Defense Council recently. She said, and National Resources Defense Council, they do a ton of, they sue the federal government a lot. They do a ton of like advocating and advocating in the political space. And she said, because I asked her something similar, I was like, how do you do this, especially right now? And she said, the only thing that matters and the only thing that'll keep you afloat is having more love for what you're fighting for than anger for what you're fighting against. And as long as that is the case, you can keep going. And I trust her. Is that true? I hope so, man. But I am just fully leaning on that. And when I get tired or I get like, what is the point? I'm just like, look, this lady told me that once, and she's older than me, and she's done a lot of really incredible work, and I believe her. So, and that's still true, so I'm good. Just gonna keep going, you know? All right. Second time we've gotten this question. Do you know why people in certain areas, I'm thinking specifically Idaho, hate wolves so much? Is it political? I think, to be so honest with you, I've never actually talked to someone who like hates wolves. And I know that there's tons out there. I just am not, I don't know, I'm not like around them. But I think generally it's like farmers, ranchers who have a misconception of how much their livestock is affected by wild wolves. So I think that's like the main reason people are like anti-wolf. Cattle ranchers, yeah. Hunters too, yeah, maybe. There are also people that are scared. People are scared of things that they don't understand. So, not enough education out there, I think. All right, other questions. What are things people could donate to the Wolfdogs? So we do have a wish list that gets bought out every time we add something to it because we're very, very lucky. Very, very lucky. We do put Wolfdog treats on there often. And then generally, donating to Alveus helps us a ton. Like, we are a nonprofit. We rely entirely on donations for our operations. So if you're able to donate, that's awesome. We also have a new wildlife toy box wish list, but I think that was bought out too. Comp Magic said, did you say there was a wolf sanctuary in New York? Where? Yes, Wolf Conservation Center, our friends. I've been working with Wolf Conservation Center for years. I don't know, 3 years or something. They're in South Salem, or in like Salem, New York. They do tours. They are open to the public, but you have to sign up for a tour online, but you can go there. They're awesome. Check them out if you're in New York. Have you been watching the new puppies? Oh, they also are on Twitch. They have live cams, and they have puppies right now because they're a breeding and recovery center. So pretty sweet. Would you ever do an info video like you did with the condors about wolves with the Wolf Conservation Center? Yeah, I would do that. Yeah, I would do that for sure. I would for sure do that. Yeah. Other questions? Sweaty Tribot, I have not reached out to those conservation organizations, but I have seen Planet Wild. I've seen Mossy Earth too. They have really big videos on YouTube, kind of popping off. Pretty sick. Strange Cyan said, is there a next animal care goal for Awa and Akela, like training? Good question for animal care staff. I do know that they have gotten to a point where they're able to do voluntary injections with Awa. And they have actually been able to like poker. So that's really, really exciting. Being able to do voluntary injections is sweet because that obviously like eliminates us having to do like darting and catching up and like really traumatizing things because our relationship with these ambassadors matters a lot. So that's big. I'm sure animal care staff would love to do that with Akela eventually, but that's a ways away. We just started. Vixity said, who do you think is coming to Alveus next? Who do you want to learn about animal conservation? I don't want to leak. I've talked to Sketch about coming to Alveus. I've talked to Julia Kins about coming to Alveus. I've talked to Tina Kitten about coming to Alveus. I've talked to Lil Simsy. I've talked to a lot of people about coming out here. It's just a matter of like flying to Austin, you know? But we do have one scheduled for July that should be really cool. Is T-Pain still your dream collab? Yeah, I would love to have T-Pain out here. We'll see. We will see. Sitting Ox said, have you talked to other sanctuaries about going out there and collaborating with them? I have done that quite a few times, actually. Check out Conservation Uncharted. That was a live series that I did on my channel where I visited other conservation orgs. And now Alveus is coming out with a new YouTube series. It's called Alveus Adventures. And our staff goes out to other sanctuaries and conservation organizations and makes videos with them. So if you're not already subbed to the Alveus YouTube channel, do it. Now! We filmed our first one already, and we're filming our second one in a couple weeks. Alliteration series. Before I answer some other questions, I have something to show you really quick. Bear with me, y'all. We got a trailer to watch.
We're gonna put you with a foster mum called Laura. You're gonna love her.
Oh, welcome to your new home. This is my daughter's room.
Stop being so good.
I want to show you something else. This way.
We stuffed one.
I know I'm a weirdo.
How did you cope with Kathy being gone?
I didn't.
I think there's something wrong with Laura.
Oh my God, what is it?
We can bring her back.
What are you doing?
Supposed to report how safe and reliable you are. So stay safe, stay reliable, yeah?
Wow. All right. Bring Her Back. Tickets are on sale now. It is in theaters May 30th from the directors of Talk to Me. Have you guys seen that movie? Talk to Me is good. Filmmakers got their start as YouTubers. I didn't know that. Raka Raka on YouTube. A brother and sister uncover a terrifying ritual at the secluded home of their new foster mother. Again, that is in theaters May 30th. Have you guys seen Talk to Me? That's the movie with the hand, right? Talk to Me is one of my favorite horror films ever. That's the movie with like the ceramic hand. It is so scary. That one like haunted me. It's also insanely original for a horror movie. And that is what they said in this trailer. It's one of the most original horror movies in a long time. Cool. From the directors of Talk to Me, Danny and Michael Philippou. Filmmakers got their start as YouTubers. Raka Raka on YouTube. A brother and sister uncover a terrifying ritual at the secluded home of their new foster mother. In theaters May 30th. Tickets are on sale now. It is called Bring Her Back. What do you guys think? Are we watching it? Are we going to theaters May 30th? That is coming up. 9 days. In 9 days! I think we should bring her back. Seems cool. Looks good. I will be watching cinema. I will check it out. Pretty spooky. Too scary. You think? I actually there are some movies that I think are too scary. Like big time like jump scare things where it's like kind of hard to watch because it's just constant whatever. Talk to Me was not like that. I thought it was really, really great. And this seems that way too. Cool concept, cool visuals, cool YouTuber directors. Why not? Should we watch the trailer one more time?
We're gonna put you with a foster mum called Laura. You're gonna love her.
Check out these visuals.
Oh, welcome to your new home. This is my daughter's room. I want to show you something else. This way.
We stuffed, huh?
I know I'm a weirdo.
Deeply shocking. Gnarly, genuine terror. Pushes every boundary. One of the most original horror movies in years. A must see in case you guys can't read.
Oh my God, what is
A wild, twisted ride.
Bring it back.
What are you doing?
I can't.
Supposed to report how safe and reliable you are. So stay safe, stay reliable, yeah?
Bring Her Back in theaters May 30th. Whoop. Bring Her Back in theaters May 30th. From the directors of Talk to Me, Danny and Michael Philippou, filmmakers got their start as YouTubers. Raka Raka, a brother and sister uncover a terrifying ritual at the secluded home of their new foster mother. In theaters May 30th. Check it out. Tickets on sale now. All right. Back to your questions. What do we got? What other questions? Thank you, guys. What other questions do we have about to Wolfdogs? Can you hear Awa and Akela a woo at your tiny house? Yes, you can hear them a woo from HQ. Do you have any ideas for an activity to teach kids about keystone species like 10 and under? 10 and under. I haven't played Jenga. Like, have them play Jenga, and then the last kid that pulls the block say, like, that's a wolf. Without the wolf, the whole thing falls apart. Here's why. That's what I would do. How would you talk to a neighbor / acquaintance that currently has a wolf dog as a pet? That's a tough one because, you know, it's not like you should say, like, get rid of it, right? If they already have it, that's tough. Hopefully they have it in like a manageable situation and that animal is happy or as happy as it can be. But the options are either euthanasia or be rescued, and there are just not enough facilities that have the capacity or the resources to rescue wolf dogs with the amount of space that they need and the amount of time that they require. So hopefully they work out in that home, and hopefully they don't continue purchasing them. Are the zoo animals on drugs? I've been to a zoo in Texas and they look out of it. Generally speaking, I wouldn't make that assumption. I think that if you've been in Texas, they're probably hot. And if it's hot outside, they're going to have pretty low activity because they don't want to waste their energy. That's a fair thing to ask. Do you have a favorite Awa or Akela clip? I really like the clips of, like, they put a ball in the pond with Awa and Akela, and Akela's gone in there a few times and has played with the ball in the water, and it's really cute. I'm a fan of those. Have you had problems with hogs lately? No, there are hogs out here. We have never had an issue, luckily. We've never had any hogs get in this property, and we never had them destroy anything. It's pretty sweet. All right, guys. A couple more questions. I'm like hitting a wall, tragically. Top 5 zoos. I don't know about top 5, but my number 1 is the San Diego Zoo and San Diego Zoo Safari Park. And my number 2 is the Philadelphia Zoo right now. I haven't been to all the AZA zoos in the US, but... Oh! Akela clip. Check them out. That's nice. Isn't that so cute? The quality is, what's that, 240? It's okay. 360. Okay, now check it out. Cute. He likes the pond. He's so cute. I'm so happy for him. I know you guys will never know, but me and Shruti and Nick and Connor were on that rescue team where we went out to pick up Akela. And so we went in his enclosure and we caught him up in that enclosure and put him in the crate. And seeing him go from that to this enclosure is really, really amazing. I'm like so grateful to have been a part of that. It's good to see him out there, and it's good to see him have a friend too. Pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. All right, guys, thank you. But thank you for watching Animal Quest today. I know it's been a minute since we've had one. Now we're all caught up. Thank you for all of your questions. I hope you learned something today. Make sure to check out that CTA for the day. It is a great, great time to use your voice to advocate for wolves because federal protections are really, really important for the recovery of wolves in the U.S. right now. So make sure to fill that out and send a note to your senator. It's so easy. It's pre-written. I'm telling you, it takes like no time. Thank you so much. I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm doing a co-stream with Zoil that will be nothing like this one. He's going to be showing me some brain rot tomorrow at 12 p.m. CT. I don't usually stream on Thursdays, but tomorrow's an exception. And then today, we're going to start the raid for Alveus right now. Today on the Alveus channel, there's a very special stream coming to you live from Alaska. Connor and Kayla are going to show you some really cool stuff on the Alveus Sanctuary channel today. So check that out. It's very special. Also say thank you to them for doing that because they're on vacation right now. So it's very nice of them. And then Chat Chats is tonight with Evan. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you tomorrow at 12. Goodbye. Don't close the tab. Hang out at the Alveus channel. Goodbye. Oh my gosh. Goodbye.